Going something through something very similar. Okay, looks like we're going live now. Welcome everyone to what will be called very soon the Pro No Coders office hours. If you're interested in what you see tonight during the day today or whenever you watch this, please go ahead, go to CoCreativeNoCode.com, I believe, and you can sign up for a one free trial in office hours, and you can also join us. My name is Justin. I am a Bubble developer, and we have here today Pablo, and hopefully Tonya will join us later. All right. Hopefully that's good enough intro, so let's jump right into this. Thomas, you said you were struggling with the API implementation a little bit, hey? Do you want to share your screen and share what's going on?
Why not? Give me a second. I want to make sure I'm not showing anything sensitive.
No worries.
Yeah, so just a brief background as I'm doing this. I'm working with EC2.
EC2?
Never bothered with yeah, which is a part of Amazon Web Services.
Oh, okay.
And I believe
Thomas, it's super hard to hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Better.
Yeah. I'm logging in right now. Give me a second.
All right. Elastic Compute Cloud, hey, for AWS.
Yep. So I will begin sharing. What's funny is that, like, after just doing a bit of research, it's like, I don't know if this will be as cost effective as Algolia, because you're still running an instance like on Amazon Web Services. You know, you're still running on the cloud, and that might just get pricey over time.
Mm-hmm.
So my issue here is essentially, I will show you the MeiliSearch. So from what I understand, you have to first set up the Amazon instance, and then you get the keys. And then once you get the keys, you can connect to Bubble, essentially.
Right. Yeah.
But I can't get that. I can't get that page. I can't get that page that would give me the keys. I can't get that. That's just not rendering. Give me a second.
Why do you need the ECT for MeiliSearch?
EC2 is just like what MeiliSearch recommends in their documentation.
Okay. So they're recommending that pricing for that is
I'm using the free tier right now.
Okay. Per second billing.
I'm sure it's really
yeah.
Is it really that bad?
No, it's not that bad.
I was thinking maybe should I consider even testing on this? Because I hear Amazon's a little under the table with these things too.
No, Algolia is definitely hosting their stuff on Amazon or something similar to Amazon, and they're rebranding it, reselling it. There's no way it's going to be more expensive than you setting it up out of the box. Or nobody would go with MeiliSearch.
It wouldn't, right? Because it's just too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Yeah, that was my assumption. I don't know how far along I'll get with this, but the point is here is I've gotten all the way to the 9th step. Step number 8. You download the key pair and
step number 8 here?
Yeah, this is step number 8. Once you've reviewed your instance configuration, everything is pretty basic. I don't know if you want me to send this document to you so you can look at it yourself, but
yeah, you can share it in the chat here so we can reference the same thing. So basically what you're having problem with is just getting the key pair, or
so I'll explain. So once you've actually set and downloaded the key pair, which is like just a string of numbers and characters, is a file, you are then, let's see here, create a new pair. Okay, download. Okay, and then afterwards, what you're able to do is on the 9th step, you actually click on one of these addresses, which is the public IPv4 address, the public IPv4 DNS, and it should lead you to this, something like this. And I believe this is where you're actually grabbing the API. I'm not having that. So on that 9th step, I'm opening here, and it's just, this is what's happening. And this is like, I've ran 3 separate instances using 2 different AMI versions. MeiliSearch AMI version.
And you got the public.
And I reached out to. No, go ahead.
Sorry, you clicked on the public. That's the DNS. Yeah, that's the DNS. That wouldn't work. But the public IPv4 access is not allowing you. Okay. It's saying connection refused. So it's probably an authentication.
Yep.
If you click connect and you click connect, didn't you? And it refused. Let me see in there. You've set and download. You've added, the security groups? Have you added the rules? Can I check your security groups?
Yeah. So one thing that I was reading, another person said that their problem was as similar as mine, but their issue was that like they were being routed to an HTTPS when they should have been routed to an HTTP. Don't know why they.
Okay, I'm not seeing any SSH on yours. You'll definitely need some configure your security groups here. Okay, so we need to configure that, but the one that they give is a different screen than the one you're getting, hey? I think it's step 6 or step 7 for networking community. Pablo, do you have a lot of experience with this?
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
This is the only security roles they told me to add: DHCP, TTP, and HTTPS.
Right, and can you go back to that security screen on your AWS?
Sure.
So you've got the range and you've got protocol TCP, which is right, but there's no type in there. Is there a way for you to edit any of this? If you click on security groups launch wizard 3. Yeah, what happens there? Okay, your inbound rules. And then assign security group. You created a new security group, I'm assuming.
The only time I did that was here, step 7, when I was initializing the instance.
Right, you created a new security. You called it security group name was launch wizard 3, and then you gave it a description, whatever description.
The default name was. Yeah, default name.
Okay. Can you go back to the oh yeah, scroll down here on the inbound rules. Okay, so I'm seeing the types there, yeah, the port, and then I'm not seeing any name. I guess that would be the description that they're talking about on the documentation. Can you click edit? Yeah, edit inbound rules. So you have 0.
Maybe I have to actually add a specific route.
Yeah, can you make it 0.0.0.0/0, and then, oh, I think that's what you have. But do you have 2 of each? Whereas the source should be the same. They should, yeah. When you do search, okay, so go under, start at SSH. Yeah, okay. You have 2 different rules that are referring to the same port. Yeah, so do on that one, click on the search. Click on the search here. Yeah. And then do 0, like the first one, 0.0.0.0/0. Oh, it's separating them here. It's asking you to delete them.
Is it because there's duplicate here? I see SSH, I see HTTP, TTP, HTTP.
Right. In the their documentation is old, and their documentation shows them being a list on the same element, whereas here that's not the case.
Thomas, under inbound rules, under the security group rule ID, where did you get all those numbers, all those codes?
That I didn't do that.
Yeah.
They did that.
Because mine doesn't look like that.
Gotcha. You might have just missed this step here, maybe. This is key right here.
Okay.
You
So
may
when you
have
say
accidentally, because the default is custom.
delete your
That's how it
rule,
works. It's obviously not working.
can you create a new rule?
Delete which one?
So delete that SSH one. The very top one, sorry. Okay, and then click add rule now. And add SSH. Oh, there's two different types of anywhere.
This is DNS, I'm pretty sure. This is, one of these are DNS, I think. Yeah. I think maybe,
what did you use on the other ones?
why does this?
Because the documentation doesn't mention that.
So noisy, my gosh. Where?
Why don't you run that? Sorry, if you go back for a second.
Chovendo, vixe.
This is what I was saying, is that there's two options. There's IPv4.
Those are
and
just the
IPv.
different addresses. I'm just wondering if you need to pick one over the other, or if you need to do both. Can you go back? Go back to your second tab there and hit the back button on it. Yeah, and then hit the back button. Hit it one more time. The back button, sorry. You see, you can check your network connectivity with a reachability analyzer, that blue square. Yeah, click that for a second.
It leads me to this, and this was a bit confusing.
Okay, so you're creating tabs, VPN, netgaze. Okay, so you have to literally manually put it in. Okay, I think that's what you want to do, but what I would do is I would reach out. Have you reached out to Meili support already? I mean, they're free. I don't know if they have support.
They continue.
Continually?
Yeah, I reached out multiple times. Yeah, through Slack. And I reached out and they're like, so what's the problem again? And I explained, and this was like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, you guys are really responsive. Last time I spoke to their head of developer relations, they said that they're busy with the hackathon. So they said, reach out next month. So
Oh gosh, that's what happens when it's free, right? Yeah. Jay, did you successfully set up your MeiliSearch?
No.
Yeah. Did you also have the same issue where it's like it doesn't open to like a reachable page?
I didn't get that far, but as far as this, but the tutorial that I was using, they weren't specific about security groups. I just took the default. I'm also not handling any personal information. So I wasn't that worried about getting it that right immediately. I got stuck at the part where it went, well, I thought I was stuck at the part where you have to scrape your site.
Yeah.
And that I wasn't able to translate into Bubble.
Yeah, from what I understand, I think all you have to do is create the instance, get the keys, and then connect to Bubble. And then I think you might actually be doing the managing of the documents on their end. I might be mistaken. I haven't gotten that far.
You still got it connected to Bubble somehow, and that I wasn't clear on.
Well, I think that's where you have to get the keys. Once you run the instance, you get the master key, and then the master key gives you the public and the private key. And that's when you can start. I think the public key is what you would connect to Bubble.
I have some documentation here. I'm going to paste in the chat. Maybe have a look at this. I'll also share my screen. I'll bring this in. So I just Googled specifically, and maybe you've already looked at this, but I'm receiving connection refused or connection timed out errors when trying to connect my EC2 instance with SSH. How do I resolve this? And it goes into some different resolution methods that you can look into. for how to create this.
Gotcha.
They look pretty complex though.
Yeah.
I think it's an AWS problem and not a MeiliSearch problem.
Gotcha. I had asked them too. I was like, guys, all I want is to know if it's an AWS issue. That's all I need.
Yeah, I would reach out. I mean, you're going to get way better support from AWS because that's not free. So, yeah, hopefully they'll want to help you get that set up. And then you can even forward, I'm sure you can forward them the documentation from MeiliSearch in the process, and they'll be like, oh, yeah, you just need to do blank, and they'll kind of plug it in.
Gotcha. I'll do that. Thank you, man. I
Okay.
appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. I wish I could help more, but I haven't done that before. Yeah. Awesome. Jay, do you have any questions?
Well, I have a few things that aren't really working. This isn't a bubble question, but I'm having a problem, I guess, with Google Analytics,
Okay.
where I had it set up as a G4 unknowingly with the wrong ID. So I fixed that. I made sure I had a UA account, and I put the code in Bubbles Google Analytics plugin. It should be that easy, but I'm not getting any results, even though I know, like, my VA has been on the site and someone else has been there. I should be seeing at least a couple of visits.
Okay.
So I'm seeing 0. Mm-hmm.
Can you show your implementation into Bubble, like where you put it?
Sure. Now, give me a second.
And if anybody's done Google Analytics into Bubble before, please let me know. I have not specialized in that either.
I mean, it's a plugin. You're just to put the UA number in it. It looks pretty straightforward. But when I checked the forum, somebody had said, make sure that you deploy live or it won't work. But I don't see any place on Google Analytics to do a deploy live, It's just
when
done.
Yeah, sorry. When you deploy your page in Bubble, you need to deploy that to live.
That's live. I'm talking, maybe that's what the poster meant in the Bubble forum, but oops, wrong button.
Have you deployed live since you set up Google Analytics, though? Like push the user live?
No, I deployed live before I changed the analytics.
That might be it then, because it will still be live on the dev version, not the live version.
Can't hear you.
It will be deployed on the dev version, but not the live version. If you haven't pushed it live, you put the analytics in.
It shouldn't be, because I'll show you. It shouldn't be, because there's the UA number and it's only in there and it's not in here. So I don't think it's trying to track the dev.
No, but you haven't pushed this. It doesn't know that you've got Google Analytics. I mean, I maybe can get you wrong, but it won't know that you've got Google Analytics. You haven't pushed it live, the live version yet, right?
After you put that key in, did you deploy your app?
Oh, I mean, have I pushed it since? Yes.
Yeah, after
you have.
putting the tracking ID.
Yeah, I'm constantly making changes.
Put the same tracking ID into your dev version.
Okay, according to the tutorial, and again, I don't know what I'm talking about, but they said that this will also end up recording my my dev activity and not separating it out.
Right. Oh, this is plugin by Bubble too. Okay, so they should have some documentation too on the service page, and I'm sure you already went through all of that, right?
It just sends you here.
Oh my goodness. So they don't have documentation for
Right.
the plugin.
So I used their documentation, which honestly would seem fine. It wasn't complicated. I don't know where it is now. And I followed their steps. And then where else did I find help? And then I checked the Bubble forums and I checked another forum, and that was it. So I started here and then looking at this number that's required and looking at Gabby Roman's tutorial. I needed this UA number, the older version. So that is, where'd it go? I have no idea where it went. Anyway, that's this number with the U and the A. So I did that,
Right.
And nothing much is happening. I'll show you my analytics page. I think this is the one. I have too many windows open. I was wondering if maybe the problem is something to do with, is there a problem with the admin user? I mean, I'm trying to look at everything and not really figuring it out. And here's another, who am I logged in as? Wrong one. Okay. I thought maybe I had it as the wrong, logged in the wrong Google account because, there's too many. Because when I did this at first, I saw a line for G4 and a line for UA. Now I'm only seeing a line for one of them. So I'm unable to switch my view to the UA version, which I think might be where the information is. This is helpful.
Is there a different bubble version of, sorry, that plugin? Because I saw V2. Is there another version, a newer updated version?
No, that's the newest one.
Okay. GTAG. So they put the tracking ID in. All right.
And this is the page. Okay, I finally found where I was working. This is the page where I set everything up for UA. I don't think this is a secret number, but honestly, I don't really care. I can change it if I can figure out how it can work.
Right. Yeah.
And then if there's no data in 48 hours, I don't know. I don't think I have to do anything with this. This should be what the plugin's doing, right?
Yeah, technically. Yeah. Why don't you go into preview your live app and then open up the console.
You just go to the live app. I'm not sure what you're asking me to do.
Yeah, go to the live app. Yeah, gardenbrain.app and then open up the console.
Okay.
So press F12 and then check the console, second tab, and then let's see what comes up. You got error blocked. Can you click on, go to elements again, and then type in Google.
Oh.
Sorry. Type Control F for find. And then type in Google. And let's check if it's on the page or not. So hit next. Next. Yeah, okay. That's your UAD number. That's your async.
And that number 489, that I don't think matches. I ended up, when I changed, I had to add the UA twice for reasons that are boring. But when I did that, I deleted the original plug, installation, and I deleted and I redid it so that I wouldn't have the same, to clear it. That might not have worked. So,
do you have your new, so the new one is not the UA48, you're saying? It's a different code?
Yeah, this is the current code.
That's the current code. So so it starts with 18225, right? And then you have in the live app though, you have a different code.
It looks that way. I mean, I didn't even think to look there. I didn't know that that was a thing.
Yeah, that's a different code. So it looks like when you updated your tracking ID, did you also push to live after you updated?
Yes.
So check your live app. So go
I'm
to
in my
your
live app.
Sorry. Go to the editor for the live app. So go to your Garden Brain, and then switch from the development version to the live version. You can also click in the top right. There's a development drop down where you go to deploy. You can just click on live there too.
Okay,
that works
thanks.
as well. Yeah. Okay, so let's load this up and then check your plugin and see what's plugged into your plugin.
Right, good idea.
So this is useful all the time. So this happens more often than not. Yeah, that's the old one.
Okay.
So you need to redeploy your app, your development version. Yeah.
All right. I've got
Give
some
that-
errors in there, so.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You have to be on a production plan to create other versions, but you could create a hotfix version if you don't
Yeah,
want to.
I don't have that. Okay. All right.
It is prorated. Just so you know, it is prorated, like the production plan. So you could switch to the production plan and then redeploy and then switch back to your old plan. So you could you'll pay for like an hour of production capacity, and you don't pay the full monthly amount, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So sometimes it's like if you need versions just for an hour, and I think this is important. If you just need versions for an hour to make a quick fix, you can upgrade your plan just for an hour and then go back to the old plan, and you'll only get charged like $1 or $2 or whatever it turns out, like an hour to be of production plan.
Okay.
Awesome.
If there, when other people, I'd like to get back at the end of the line to talk about what Pablo was helping me with.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, no worries. We've got Callum. Do you have a question?
I just came to say hi. Tonya, you look very different today.
What was that? Sorry?
I said Tonya looks very different today.
Tanya looks very
voice.
different. Yeah, she's not.
No questions from me today.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Francesco. I'm so bad. It's Portuguese.
Francisco, it's good. It's good. Like
Okay.
San Francisco, it works.
Okay, good.
How's it going, guys?
Good. How are you doing?
Pretty good, Justin. Thank you for saving my life. And then yesterday, Tonya saved my life again. And now I owe you guys my soul, pretty much. So by this point, so let's see another little query about the chart situations here.
Okay.
Life evolved. Now I'm being able to input the data and everything else that I have to. So I just have to follow along and, after a while, customize it and everything. But my question here is, this is like, it's a fencing app for fencing team. And so they have like different categories. They have like 16 different categories that could go here from the competitions. And what I wondered here is what we did before was the name of the series here, I was already inputting the name of the category that we had. So for example, here, when we look at series 2, we already have like Infantil U9 display because it's like pushing from my data bank from a list, from a option list.
Oh, okay.
What I'm thinking about here is when this app scales, it's going to be a problem because I'm going to have like junior fencing players that they don't have like the senior competitions yet, and vice versa. So instead of here, I have instead of having the name of the series like static by the category, I should be able to pull from my data bank the series that the categories that they already have, and create this series automatically. And that's my point. I don't know if that's possible.
Okay. So what you're saying is, okay, it's complex what you're asking here. So let's break it down. So what you're saying is that you need to, you have to display the names dynamically and create the series dynamically.
Yes.
Okay, you can do that. I don't think I totally understand like how. Can you show the chart, like the preview version of the chart? Is this the chart that you want, or do you have it set up already to work, or no?
Yeah, this one is already set up working, but this one is already set up working with what we did a couple of days ago,
right?
Where the series is already presetted. So we actually came here and we fixed, we put the name of the series, like series 1 is U9, series 2 is U11, and so on and so forth. But for example, perhaps the person doesn't have the series U9. It already starts on the series U15 because it's, I don't know, a teenager that is started. that has just started
Oh, so
practicing.
you only want to show the data that's relevant for that person, and you don't want to show extra series that aren't relevant to them?
Yes.
Okay, so that's easy to do actually. If you go into the workflow,
Okay.
if you go click to add an event. So it could be page, let's say page is loaded. We'll just use that for now, but you can use whatever you want. And click here to add an action. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add the I'm pretty sure it's under plugins. You can dynamically add series to your charts.
I think it will be here on elements that
Yes.
this Tonya explained me
Mm-hmm.
yesterday. But okay, but to put that as a okay, just follow. Let's follow along with your explanation.
So basically. Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead. No, you go ahead. What do you think the problem is?
It's just because the problem here, I think, is I will make the app is going to make a search through my database, right? And he's going to select what you have here. But what I didn't understand how to do is for the first series, he's going to get the first one, and how he's going to get for the series number 2, the second one, and not the first one repeatedly. I tried to use like the first one parameter, and it quite didn't work. So, but yeah, let's see how you.
So there's how many categories are there? Like 10, 15?
15, yeah.
15 categories. So you just set up, you do step 1, step 2, step 3, all the way to 15. You'd set up each series, and then at the very bottom, you do them in order as well. And then at the very bottom, you put a condition on each one that says if they have no data, then don't add this series. Like only do this if they have data, basically, in that series.
Okay, but then I'm gonna do this here on this action that I'm trying to make, or I'm gonna make this on the database. I didn't understand where I'm doing this.
On the condition of this action. So if you scroll down on this pop-up here, yeah, only when.
Okay.
So like only when the current, I don't know, you probably have to do a search, only do search for the current user, blah, blah, blah,
Do a search for competições, which is where this database is. And then I'm going to have like the category esgrima. Or.
Yeah, equals, and then you put it the first one, which is U9, or is there ones under that? Yeah. It was get an option, right? Or I don't know.
I can get from adoption. Yeah, it's actually smarter. Here. Displays.
Okay, so that a category is a text field, basically?
Yes.
Okay. In the future, I mean, I'm sure your app is very complicated now. This would be really hard to change.
Oh, no. Believe me, it's not that complicated. It's just that I started with Bubble like a couple months ago.
Okay. So in this case, you probably want to reference the option set itself. So you'd probably want to make category not a text, but the option set.
I got that mistake already, but yeah, I got it.
Yeah. It's hard to go back and change all of that after you've created. That's the one thing. Yeah. The app search tool does help with that, but it still takes a long time.
Smarter, to do this other way. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So okay.
So you've got that first category.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna
count
here
probably.
Count
or is empty. It can be count is not 1 or not 0. I mean, or is greater than 0. There's a whole bunch of ways you can do it.
All right. Let's just put count is greater than 0. Yeah, I got it.
So then it will only add that series if they actually have that information.
Okay, got it.
Does that help?
Yeah, it does help.
So you just have to do that 15 times, one for every category.
One for every category. Okay.
Yeah.
And another tricky question, because here I have the list of the categories, right? There is another chart that this client is asking, which is pretty much the same chart from categories, but with countries.
Oh,
because fencing people travel a lot, apparently. So they want to see a chart divided by countries. And the countries, they're not going to be a preset list that I can do this. The countries, they're just gonna get like, they're like filling an input, and it's just connected with Google, and that's it. So they're gonna have the country. And so how can I do this same thing pretty much, but without having the list here? I would have to do the same thing, general here, one page load. Okay, good. Done, add here, element.
You just don't know, you don't know what the list of countries are going to be?
Yes, I don't have that, because every different athlete can have a different country, you know?
So adding I would create a loop, actually a custom loop that would go through, and a counter. You'd probably have to do a recursive workflow. Pablo, can you think of another?
Recursive workflow, you said?
Yeah, recursive workflow.
Okay.
We have some nice videos on CoCreative NoCode.com about recursive workflows. If you
Oh,
go to
really?
those,
Oh,
yes.
good, because I just marked this because I never heard of it. So I was like, okay.
Yep, you can
research for it.
filter. You can use the filter icon, and you can search for recursive workflows, and you should find at least a couple videos on it.
Nice.
I think the
Thank you.
challenge, the recursive workflows work really well in most situations. The only challenge here, and Pablo and Tonya, if you can think of a way to get around this, you can only pass one thing into a custom workflow, and you don't want to make this a backend workflow because that would make it very slow. But you would need to pass the user. Oh, I guess, no, you can just use current user. So you'd only have to pass one piece of information. Okay, so I can show you very rudimentary, like how that would be set up.
Yeah.
So basically, you would want to create a custom event. So go to the very end and add another, like click here to add an event on the right side of your screen. The box on the right, like add a new when, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. And then go to custom, create a custom event. You'll want to put in the event name. Yeah, country creation, type of thing. In this case, you would want a number to keep track of how many times you've gone through and how many times you need to go through. Or would you need a number? I think you would need a number, yeah, to keep track of how many times you've gone through. So go ahead and it would be number.
All right.
Okay, and so within here, this is where you do the add field. Let me think of this. This is a tricky one because you don't know how many countries, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically you have, let's say they have 5 countries. They have Canada, Portugal, USA,
Brazil and Spain, yeah.
Brazil and Spain. Sounds good. And so you want to go through those 5 and add them. But you can't put a list of all 340 countries because that would be ridiculous. So you want to loop through it and add it dynamically. So here, so in this one, you would go to plugins and you would do the add series.
I think it's here on elements, add series. Okay.
Yeah. And then you choose element and the series name.
Let me just confirm something here. Yeah, it's 1. Okay, here's the element chart. The series name would be here, actually will be the name of the country.
Exactly. And so can you get a list of all the countries they've been? Can
yeah,
you do a search?
I can, where is it? Do a search for competitions, add a constraint, competition país.
Okay.
Actually, I don't think I have to put this here. I could put this outside, I guess.
Yeah, you're right.
And then I can group here by country, or I can just select the country here.
Oh, those are the different countries, like you have them as different fields?
Oh, no. It's just because here it's a bunch of fields, and here one of these fields, which would be this one. Cidade, estado. Wow. Oh, here, competições país. This is the field of the countries.
Oh, okay.
Like the
That's where the
column.
country. Yeah, just get the list of countries. There you go. Grab that.
All right.
And then more. You're going to get item number. And then the current workflow number. Now, Pablo, do you know, are you able to do custom workflow recursive workflow still? Is that still a thing? Because I know that they Bubble canceled it a while ago for a bit. I don't know if that was permanent though.
Are you talking about recurring events?
No, recursive. So like a custom event calling itself.
Oh, I've never tried that. I've only ever done recursive workflows in the backend workflows.
Right.
But I do those all the time.
Usually, yeah, to do loops, I usually
But I don't
use
see why not. We could
shifter.
try.
So probably this works too. Otherwise, we can try the plugin, the list shifter plugin. I think here you would need to add the unique elements right before the item. Otherwise, if you have like a lot of competitions from one country, you're gonna have a list.
Right.
So
because
before
they
the
can do
item
multiple
number, right?
countries.
Yeah.
Yes, unique. Yeah, item numbers replace that with unique. Yeah, thanks.
Let's try this, and otherwise we can. Yeah,
And
we
then
can
more
try something else.
unique
And then
elements.
yeah, the
and then more.
item thing. Yeah.
Oh, and afterwards here,
And the item number. Click on more.
unique,
yeah.
more item.
And then current workflows number. You'll have to put on, yeah. And then click here to add another action. And then we're going to try to call itself. So go to custom events, trigger a custom event,
It doesn't show anything here.
Yeah, it doesn't allow you to do it. Now, one potential thing that you could do is you could create two of the same custom events that like trigger each other and they go back and forth. That would work as well. Maybe Bubble would check for that. So let's try that for a second. Just right click custom country creation, like the square above it.
Wait, here, okay.
Yeah, and copy and paste that. So right click, copy, paste. And then within the first one, try to trigger the second one. So country creation, go to trigger custom event.
Yeah, let me just, okay. This one is the second one. Sorry, what should I do here? You just said it.
Sorry, just in step 2, where it says step 2, trigger a custom event.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can trigger that and do the workflow thing to be equal to the current workflow's number. It's the first thing.
Okay.
+1.
+1.
Just a plus.
Okay.
And click plus and then 1. You type number 1. Oh,
no,
you have to be careful when you type 1. Yeah. Okay. And then you're going to do that same thing on the other custom creation. The one thing though is this going to create an error? And I don't know, because Bubble did really try to block this for a while. So if this doesn't work, Pablo, why don't you go into your? I'm going to test this on the backend right now. Not the backend. I'm going to test this in the background. Pablo, do you want to explain list shifter? How you could do that with list shifter?
Yeah, sure. Let me open a page.
You guys want me to stop sharing here?
Yeah, if you want, I'll share and I'll show how I would use
All right.
list shifter for a simple workflow. Let's see. Okay.
Justin, if you want, I can send you the link here for the file. I don't know if it helps you.
No. I'm just gonna create a workflow.
Oh, okay.
Super simple.
Yeah. Okay.
In the background so that I can just identify whether this is going to be an issue or not. It could be fine, but
Oh God, this always takes like ages. Yeah.
Set that up.
Okay, I already have it installed. Nice. So let's do a simple one. We wanted to create graphs dynamically without knowing how long a list is going to be, right? So let's just test. I mean, I'll just show how list shifter works, because I think that's going to be. Then we can implement it in your app. God, this is going to take long. Okay, I'll just put some text here. Oh, come on. Yeah. Let's say we're going to be creating countries. So I'm just going to add here a data type called country with a field. It's going to be just text. And we'll take this input. And depending on what we write here, we will create a different amount of countries. So if we write 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'll create those in the database, okay? So that just to see if it works. I mean, it can be like a very stupid example, but the idea is to demonstrate.
No, but it's helping. It's helping.
So how was this? Let me see. I know that I'm gonna need to use the iteration thing. And I know I haven't done this in a while, but we'll figure it out. I think I needed to initialize it first. I'll explain afterwards what I'm doing.
All right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So I don't really need to do this. Perfect. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a button here that says create countries, and then when I click it, we're gonna start the loop. And what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna put a repeating group here in the page with a list of countries.
All right.
So that we see how they are being created in the database one by one. So the way this works is that when I click the button, I'm going to start the iteration. So the loop is going to start. And
okay.
The thing that you need to add here. So I said when button create countries is clicked, I'm going to begin an iteration. Okay, the names are not very clear, but this is how it works. So you click begin iterate.
Okay.
You start to iterate. And it says this action begins iteration on a list held by list shifter. Now, this other workflow that says iterate from list shifter, you can add however number of actions you want to put here, whatever number of actions you want to put here. These are going to run a number of times. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So this action is going to be create a new thing. And we're going to create a new country where the name is going to be this list shifter's current iteration item. Okay.
All right.
The name. And it's already offering us the name here because we told that the list that we're going to be looping through is of type country. So here the thing is that we're going to have to select as the list that we hold in this element that because we want to loop the list of countries that we would have in the database or that the user would type, you know, or the list of countries from the competitions, things like this.
Okay.
So actually, maybe we should do that, but no, yeah, let's do that very quickly because it's gonna be more realistic. I'm gonna add here a data type called competition, and again name and a field called country. Okay, this is quicker now. I like it. Let's add a few smoke data. So the first one is going to be competition number 1. Oh, here. And I don't have countries yet, so I need to create those first. Let's do Spain. Let's do Brazil. Let's do Portugal. And that's enough. And now, competition number 1. I need to change the search field.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to be able to find them.
To find it.
To find the country that I just created. Yep, okay. Another one also from Brazil. Let's say and then we have one from Spain, which is La Liga. Okay. We have the 3 countries that are not appearing here, but you know those are created, and then we have 3 competitions, 2 from Brazil, 1 from Spain. Right, so we don't need this anymore. The moment we click create countries, we're going to be creating only 2 elements, one from Spain, one from Brazil. We won't be creating Portugal. So in the list shifter element, we're going to do a search for competitions, countries, unique elements. And now here, iterate from list shifter. Every time we're going to begin an iteration, we're going to create a new country. I mean, this is like very redundant. You could do this very much more easily, but yeah, it's just to show you. And after we create the country, we're going to pause for 1 second so that we see that we're actually doing this in a loop. So we're creating first one and then another one. Okay. And let's do something else. Let's add here a text field. And here we're going to add the iteration step. So iteration index is going to move from 0 to 1 to 2.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And that's it. And you could also add something to know that the iteration has ended, which is iteration complete.
Okay.
Okay. And in this case, what we're going to do is show an alert. We can't because I don't have the plugin. Let's install it very quickly.
It can be just a regular alert.
Yeah, that's true. normally it's just quicker to have the plugin, but in this case, it's just going to be a square here. Done. Yeah, there we are. So let's see.
This is very nice. I didn't even know about the existence of this.
Oh yeah, well, this is just like touching the surface. Like you can do so many more things with this.
Oh.
Yeah, here we're searching for the countries, but we're gonna. Oh, because we already created them. That's true. So let's do something else, because otherwise we're gonna be creating countries that have already created. Yeah, this was a little bit stupid. So I'm just gonna create a new type, which is gonna be country 2. Yeah, and now here we're going to be searching for
country 2.
Yeah. Okay. There we are. So now we see it's 1, 2, and we've created the 2 countries. And after the iteration is done, it says done.
Right? Nice. Yeah.
1, 2.
Done.
So you could do this with like really long lists, and it doesn't matter how big they are. If they are 100 elements, 1,000, 3, 4, 5, this can be dynamic, and you can get as complex as you want over here. Because if you add different actions over here, they will just run, and then the next iteration will take place. Yeah.
Nice. Because then we can build this type of different lists with different elements.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that should be a way. And I don't know if the custom workflows are working. How is it going, Justin?
Yeah. So this is a good warning to everyone out there of what not to do, because you can spend a lot of time thinking like, oh, I'll just recursive. Bubble allows it in the back end, but does not allow it on the front end. I'm going to share my screen, and it's not. It's really annoying how they tell you to, but it's just something to keep in mind. I set up a lot of apps back in the day because I started bubbling about 5 years ago. A lot of them had a lot of these recursive workflows, and they worked just fine. If you got an infinite loop, though, your browser would shut down, and so. I guess because of that, they removed that option. But you can say that in this one here, I have a custom workflow that is just triggering another custom workflow, which is then triggering the other custom workflow. But there is a stop set on it, which is, only when the current workflow number is less than 6. So it's only going to go 6 times. Now, the problem here is that it doesn't run at all. And if you look into the error messages, it says event counter. This custom event is triggering a custom event that triggers itself directly or indirectly. And so, yeah, they do not allow it, but it's not an apparent editor. Like it doesn't show up in the editor. So you might think everything's fine. You deploy it, it doesn't work, and you're really mad. And so that's something to just watch out for. I also found another way to do it. You can use BDK's super workflow. I don't know if anyone has used that before.
No.
But BDK is Bubble Development Kit. They have a whole bunch of plugins, really awesome plugins. And there's one that has super workflows in it. There's a whole lot of them now. It is inside of the utilities. So I'll just add this to my thing. It does cost $16, but it does have a lot of workflows, and there's a lot of really good documentation too on how to set it up. I won't go too much into how it works, but basically it solves the problem where you want to schedule a list of things client side. So not on the back end, but you want to schedule a list of things on a custom workflow.
Oh, you can do nice. That.
Yeah. It's very, very nice. So you can check out their this documentation is stellar. If you go to bdk.bubblemaps.io, there's videos that kind of show how it works. They're very well documented and supported, and you can reach out to him and he will help you. So you can see the utilities, it talks about super workflows. Major difference, you're not limited to passing one value, you can pass 3 values. They have transform list, easy list. There's a lot of if-then workflows, things like that. So if you're interested in that, you can also go to that way, but List Shifter is free. It's just List Shifter, and I think everyone agrees, is so complicated. It has so many different things you can do with it that it's a little overwhelming. But if you learn how to use,
it can be confusing. Yeah, it can be confusing at first. And then once you figure it out, you can do so many cool things with it. Honestly, yeah. All right,
Nice.
I'll stop that plug now. I don't know why I'm plugging it. I don't get paid for it. Okay.
Oh, well,
excellent.
guys, I'll try here for during the weekend and we'll see where it goes.
Okay.
Awesome. Very
Thank
cool.
you.
Yeah, I'm late, so I don't know what's happening. Catch me up. Who's next?
So I think Thomas, you're up, hey?
We did have someone join us in the meantime. Hamza is here for his first time, I think. Is this your
Yes.
first time joining us? Welcome.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, this is my first time.
Awesome. So did you have a question?
I don't particularly have a question or a development question now, or any issue I'm facing. But I'm finding it quite interesting to explore this shifter with you as well. So that was very informative.
Okay, awesome. All right,
Yeah.
Thomas, back to you, friend.
Oh, I already asked Thomas. I'm crazy. Sorry. Thomas, do you have anything new before?
Nope, I'm all right, man. Thank
You're
you.
all right? Okay.
And then I asked Jay if she'd had a chance.
Yeah, Jay, you wanted to come back to you, right?
Yeah, this is the same, that visual representation of the types of vegetables and how many of each type you have. And this is just a scratch page. Pablo sent me a loom, which was great. Got me further, but I'm still not quite there. So but I have a strategy that I isn't implementing correctly. Can you guys see?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, so this is just what I have in the database for testing. This is everything of this type. So what there is I've made a data type called where am I? Plant images. And it's pretty simple. It's just the icon and the name of a type of vegetable. And then I've got the database, my plants. And here's my test records, which are just the user, the type of vegetable, so you can search because I only want that type. And then the name, which is connected to the all plants database. And then the name in text, just so I can get to it from everywhere. So those are what I have that I think matter. And over here in Scratch, I've done this search for the plant type images. That's the one with just the icons and the names. And then doing a search for those images, just a general search, there's nothing there. And then trying to filter it by what I'd like to do is, the name of my plant is in the name of the plant type's name or something like that. But it's obviously not working.
Can you go back again to show the repeating? Is this a repeating group inside a repeating group? Yeah, so this is the original search for plant type images. Okay, and you're filtering?
What I'm trying to do is have Bubble say to itself, hey, the name tag, the text name of this plant in the My Plants database is at least one of those words in that field are also, they match the name of the plant type image's name. Does that make sense?
I'm lost.
I'm trying to. So like, here's the name of a, it has the word kohlrabi in it. Okay, so now I know that's what I want. But if you go look at my plants, the name isn't going to be that. The name is going to be something like, Express Enforcer kohlrabi. The name of that particular, kohlrabi.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I wanted to do. I tried what you gave me on the loom, Pablo, and it got me closer, but it didn't really work exactly the way I needed it to.
So you want to check for all the plans that you have.
Yeah, I don't know if that's really going to get me where I need to go, though, because it's not going to give me 3, like if there's 3 instances, if the user has 3 different kohlrabi plants, it's not going to show 3 different kohlrabi icons. What I showed you just now, I suppose it's only going to get rid of this one line because that user doesn't have any tomatoes in their data type. They've only got these 2 in the data type. So yeah, so what I was trying, now that I look at it, it won't work either. So I tried what you had suggested. This is much corrupted. I've been through it a lot this morning. You had it as my plants, and then the current user's plant list. Okay, I made that. And then you had a plant type, but that's not in here. Like I don't have that in my, what I've got is this, which is just vegetables, flowers, shrubs, that's what the plant type is. It's not the same as the one that you created in the loom. So I don't think that mine is relevant for this particular search.
Okay, and is there something in the database that connects to these plants list and that is like the general type plants types, like what I have in,
Which to the general plant types when you okay,
so
yeah.
Is there a data type that has like tomatoes, I don't know, like lilies and sunflowers, and then you have your plants that connect to that general data type to like
no, yeah. I've created this, which doesn't connect to anything. What I also already had, which I didn't think I could use here, is an option set with everything, the name and that, then the display, this is something else. That's the family. I don't need that now. And the image. I don't think that's relevant for what I'm doing, but who knows? Maybe it is. And and then that's it. And then I've got the my plants, which is only connected. Well, it's connected.
Yeah, but the vegetable categories would probably work, right? Because you could be showing icons of tomatoes, cucumbers, zucchini, pole beans.
Yes.
I mean that's more or less the objectives, right? And how are the vegetable categories linked to the plants?
In the main in the main all plants one, this is the master record of all the plants and everything inherent to the plant itself. There is a plant type, and that is an option set.
Okay, and can we see that option set, the plant type? Yeah, but is there anywhere where you connect the plants that the user has with the vegetable type that we saw before? It has the potential to have icons and that you want to display on the screen?
Yeah, I may be too circuitous, but it does exist. There is my plants, and you've got your plant, and that plant is linked to the master group of plants. And in the master group of plants, there's a field that connects to that option set, the one we just looked at.
But not to the vegetables type option set, right?
Yes.
And the vegetable types, is that connected in any way to the plants that the user has?
I've got the fields for it, but they're redundant, so I haven't populated them in a workflow.
Okay, it's probably if you wanted to implement this functionality, I think it would be much easier if we were a little bit redundant here and had a field in the plan that was the vegetable type. That would make your life way easier.
Okay. Okay, I've done that in my test record, so it does exist.
Okay, the plant type primary, awesome. So then you could go to the design, right? And then we're there. I'm gonna move our faces because they're covering that. Yeah. So we have the plants list, the plants types, right? And that's the data source. Can you click there so that I can see it? It's in red.
Where?
And I don't. In the red, the data source. Yeah. Okay, so let's change the repeating group to that type. And over there, that's where I would choose to show the unique elements, so that if you have 10 plants but only 3 types of vegetables, you're only showing 3 different unique elements. Yeah.
I think, isn't that just going to show one vegetable, not every unique type of vegetable?
That's going to show if you have 10 plants and those 10 plants are from 3 different types of vegetables, it's going to show those 3 different types of vegetables.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're going to be selecting the 10 plants, and if you have 5 of one type, 2 of another type, and 3 of another type, you're going to have a list of 10. That, it's going to show 10 rows, and we only want 3 rows, right?
Yes.
And now
2 rows. Yeah.
Yeah, and now there is where I would do the current users plans. So the same thing I think that you had before, but in this case, yeah, and in this case, I would have current user plans list. Okay, but here, you want to show the icons, right?
Well, that's a text field, but here I want to show the icons.
Okay, you want to show the icons over there. Okay, no, but let's go back to the repeating group where you were just a second ago, the one that is inside here. So, oh, you don't have a repeating group. That's true. Okay, so you need to put a repeating group in each row. You're gonna need a repeating group in each row. So you're gonna need a repeating group inside the repeating group. Yeah. So let's make the regional bigger so that it's easier, maybe.
Yeah, I'm having a little cursor issue. Here we go. Okay.
Okay. And you can make that just one row, one column. That one. And then that one is yeah, we're gonna put the image inside. That's right. And now this is going to be of the type plant, the plants list.
Which one? The all plants?
The test, no, the test one that is connected to vegetables.
I'm sorry, say it again.
The test type that is connected to the vegetables and that you were using before. So if you go back to the original repeating group, the big one, and we look at the data source, here you're taking the plant lists, right? That type that is inside the user plant list. Mm-hmm. That's the type that you're going to want to put in the repeating group in this other one.
So the user's plant list?
Yeah. So that there, the type of content is going to need to be plants list. And you're going to be getting the plants list from the user. Yeah. Yeah. And you can change the type to be of type my plant then. Yeah, that's the type. Okay. And so this is the one that needs to be like one row and one column.
Yeah.
Instead of 4. So here you can put one row and one column and full list. Yeah. And now the other one, yeah, you can put the image bigger, but we'll do that in a second. And this one is where you can put like 2 rows and 1 column, for example.
You mean here I can put the rows?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. And I mean, I hope that this works, but I think it might.
Well, we still have some red, so it won't.
Yeah.
Okay, so then this has to be.
So, but first, let's go up to the repeating group inside the repeating group. We still need to do something else. To the repeating group inside.
To the what?
The repeating group that is inside the repeating group.
Okay.
That one, yeah. And here we're gonna filter the plant list. Okay, so we're gonna filter it. Yeah, and here is where you wanna be just selecting where the plant list or the my plant or however. Yeah, I think it's called plant list, right? Or
no.
No, not here. The vegetable, sorry, vegetable type or plant type primary, yeah, equals current cells. What is the type? No. God, it's so difficult to do it like this, like seeing the screen. Is there, Justin, how did you do it? Could I take over of the screen and try it myself?
Yeah. Yes, please.
How can I do that? With like the Jay's screen. Is there a way I can use my cursor from here? Because I know that you did it the other day.
I keep muting myself. Jay, can you share your screen? And then at the very top, there's a view option, Pablo, on your screen.
Okay.
And it says request remote control. A little green. It says you are viewing Jay's screen, and then there's view options. Click on that, and then request remote control. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, here it is.
Okay.
Okay. Wow. This is amazing. Yeah. So here we're doing the current users, the plant list. This is a list of my plants. And then a plant type primary. This is a list of plant types. Yes, perfect. And now in this repeating group, we want to filter this, the plants list. And we're gonna want to, let's see, get the plant type, which was probably the plant type primary, but is this the same thing that we're using in the original repeating group?
Yes.
I don't know. It is, right? If
yeah.
it is, yeah, if it is, then we should be able to pick here the current cells. Yeah, exactly. The current cells plant type. Okay. Yeah. So we were almost there. Let's see. So now what we're going to be doing is getting the plant list. Imagine that 10 plants is that we had before. And we're only going to be selecting the plants that are from the first type. So if we have 3 different types and we have 5 of that type, we're going to be getting 5. And since we are displaying the full list, we're going to be displaying 5 icons. So that should work. Now, in order for this to actually display correctly, I'm going to move here to this to the left. And we probably want to make this, instead of rows, we'll probably want to make it columns. So let's go with that, just for testing purposes. We're going to be selecting 3, we're going to be showing 3 different columns. Wait. My goodness. Oh, wow. Why is this not being bigger? Okay. Anyway, we'll keep it like this. Let's just check if it works. Preview. I have a feeling we're still going to need to debug a little bit in order for this to work. But let's see. Oh, and you also said that the plant is plant type primary. Is this populated or not?
Yes.
It is. Okay. And this element is visible. Okay, so let's just check with the debugger what's going on. The name is repeating group plant types. Okay, I gotta move my zoom options. Yeah, over here. Okay, yeah, we have to
Plant list.
show
I
this
saw it.
to
Yep.
everyone. Classic privacy rules.
Yes.
Happens all the time.
Yeah, I added that field this morning and didn't think about checking the privacy.
Yeah, that happens to me all the time. I add something and then I go crazy. I want to kill myself because I don't know what's going on.
Bubble
For
aside.
like 15 minutes. And I'm like, no. Yeah. It's just, okay. Yeah, let's just make sure we won't have any issues. Fresh.
Well, we're
Okay,
close there.
something is happening. Let's see. What was the name? Plant type. Okay, plant type primary. Yeah, so we're only gonna have one, which is vegetable, because the plants from this user are all of type vegetable.
At
right?
the moment, yeah.
By the way, we wanted a different type, but let's just demonstrate it with this. So now let's check the other one, the other repeating group. The repeating group that was inside the big one.
I think it's called plant type images.
Yeah.
I could be wrong about that.
No, but I think you're right. Oh, come on, what's going on? No, that's this other one. So let's check for the one that we have here. My plant. Let's see. Oh. I don't know if this is just the slow or if it's. Oh no, it's here. It's here. It's selected. Yeah. Yeah, so it's going to show us the 5 plants. And then the problem is that probably we haven't selected the image source, I think, correctly. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's important. But
Right.
Yeah, so
the problem.
there's something that we have done wrong. So if we go to it was here, right? The option sets.
The options.
Oh yeah, we were taking plant type, and again, like what we want.
There's also a data type. There's also a data type that's the same as what we're looking at, because I thought it would work better. I don't know.
Okay.
So it's called plant type images. I don't know if that's helpful or not.
But let's start with this one. Yeah, let's start with this one because this one is the one that is connected. But we wanted the vegetable categories, right? So this is So the thing is, like, we need to do the same thing that you are doing with the plant type, but instead of with the plant type, you need to do it with the vegetable categories. So when you have the vegetable categories linked, instead of getting the options for the plant type, you're gonna get the options for the for the vegetable category.
Okay.
Yeah, and one is going to be image. And here, like just to show what will happen, and let's just delete this image and just show a text and say image. So you can have 10 plants, and if you have 5 of one type, 3 of another one, and 2 of another one, you want to show 5 times image here, 3 times an image here, and 2 times an image here.
Yes.
And now it's going to show 5 times if everything works correctly, and it won't. Yes, it will, but yeah, but we need to show full list because right now it's in external vertical scrolling. I need to show full list. And here, let's make sure we're also showing the full list. Yeah. So here, yeah. So here, because you had the list of plants and they're only of type vegetable, you have 5 types. But once you actually put the field of the vegetable type, you might have, instead of 5, you might have 3 and then 2 and 1, something like this. I don't know if you understood like what I just did. Otherwise, I can try to set it up a little bit. Let's see. So let's check what we're doing. Plant list, yeah. So this is inside the user, and it's a list of my plants, and each plant has the plant type primary. So in the plant, in the my plants, where is it? Oh yeah, I'm in the option sets. This, the same way that is linked to the plant type, it would need to be linked to the vegetable type. Okay. So here is where I would add vegetable type. And then let's look for the option.
Here it is.
Yeah, vegetable category. Let's call it vegetable category. Yep. Yep. And over here, we're going to filter by vegetable category. So we're doing pretty much the same thing that we were doing before, but this time, because you're going to have an image, you're going to be able to add here the image. Oh, come on. Yeah. Image. And yeah, let's make this bigger. But you would want to make this probably a square, right? And then center horizontally, center vertically. And now nothing is going to show up because your plants don't have the vegetable categories. But if you fill them up, okay, so if you go to the plants and then assign the vegetable categories, and from now on, each plant should have the vegetable category, right? Field, they will show up here.
The problem with that is that I need to automate the assignation of the category.
Yeah, and but each plant, I mean, it's not like that varies, right? Like a plant has a category, and or you mean because your categories have been like handpicked by you, and that's
Well,
not necessarily
users can, either they're in the database already, which shortens the process for the user to upload them, or the user might have something that I don't have in the database, and they add the complete information. So I need to, you know, maybe that's automatable. I need like an if this then that type thing, where if a plant that's added to the database has the word tomato in, you know, the keyword tomato in it, then it's a vegetable category or tomato or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I need to put that somewhere.
Yeah, that could be, I mean, that could be done. I'm not sure. I have never done something like that, but something that comes to mind is that here in the vegetable, oh, but this is in an option set, so you're not going to be able to do that. Because I was thinking of adding here like a list of keywords, you know, for each option, and then just searching the list when a plant is added, and trying to find if a keyword is in one of the options, then assigning that option to the plant that has just been created.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if we can do it with an option set. Now, I would have to try. That's actually a very interesting question, like how to automatically assign categories based on the title of the plant when the plant is added to the database. I will give that some thought, because I think that's probably for another day. I need to try it out. Yeah, but that's interesting, because of course, if you want to automate that, and this is not going to feel based on a few criteria or by the user, then this adds more complexity to the to the process. Yeah, absolutely. But the way to show like a variable number of icons for the plants that you have, you know, and based on the vegetable categories or any other thing for this purpose, would be this one, like the one that I would use at least, right? So that if you have like 100 plants and 50 are related to the vegetable category tomato, you have 50 icons of tomatoes, and then the same with the rest of the categories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is how I would do it. But I'll think of the other question that you had.
Would it not be something like, I've got this. This is where the plants get added, whether they're in the database or whether they're already there or whether a user adds them. This is really slow. I'm trying, I've got a page called Add a Plant. There we go. And at this point, early on, save one, that would be so I could do something like, if this button is clicked and vegetable category is empty, which it will be always, then I would have to do some kind of event where it, if the name, like search any field, like can I do that in a workflow? Do a keyword search, and if it has the word tomato, then the category is tomato, is vegetable, or whatever it is.
Yeah. But the problem is that you don't want to add like either tomato or nothing. You have like a lot of categories, and that's
there's
like
a lot.
it needs to find like the best match, right? Like not only if the number matches like exactly, but also if the word is in the title, or probably if it's something related to it, right? So that's where the difficulty comes. I'm not sure how I would do it, but yeah, I'll think about it. I would probably do it with a database trigger. You could also do it here. I mean, either in this page or in the backend workflows, and do like a trigger when a plant is added, then do this process, and that way it's running on your backend, and that would be. But it would work the same way.
I think that what you just said would be better. A trigger would be better. Because
Yeah, when you make sure that always, like, no matter where a plant is added, if the vegetable category is empty, then you do it. Yeah, I like to have that type of things in the database triggers.
Okay. All right. Well, it's closer. That's good. Found out some things that don't work. Thank you.
You're more than welcome. I wish I could help more right now. Yeah, I'll do some more investigation. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
I know. Maybe Justin and Tonya are asleep by now.
Oh yeah, I was not tuning in. I was like, whoa, okay. So working in the background. You sounded like you had a handle on it, Pablo. So.
Yeah.
I was trying a lot of different stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's normal, I think. All right, well, we're going to wrap up office hours for today. I want to thank everyone for being here, and especially to Pablo and Justin for holding down the fort while I was late, and Jay for being here till the very end.
I'm the only one. I'm the last one.
You're the last one
one.
standing. And then Thomas and Francisco and somebody else here. Thomas and Francisco were here, and then Hamza came in.
Callum was here, yeah.
Cool.
And yeah, that was it.
Thank you to everyone for being here today. We will be back here on Monday for episode number 131 of CoCreative NoCode's Office Hours. I hope to see you there.
Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, you too.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Good weekend,
Bye.
Jay.